I'm definitely gonna have the police at my door tomorrow morning. Hi guys, and welcome to my tutorial on how to sell. Hi guys, welcome to my review of season 2 of how to sell drugs online fast. Yep, it's a debatable title which YouTube's not gonna like too much. So in the second season, the three friends Moritz, Lenny, and Dan want to figure out how to sell the drugs online faster. They've maintained a good balance but are looking to kind of gain some more growth as that is not increasing. But as they try and balance their private lives with their drug business lives, things get very hard to keep up with, especially with the high demand of the customers. Lisa is getting suspicious about Moritz's odd behavior. Dan is proved to his dad that he can stand on his own feet. And Lenny falls for a girl that he met online called Kira7. Moritz is single-handedly striking deals in Holland and is getting entangled in a bunch of lies and very dodgy people. But without further ado, let's see what I think about season 2 of how to sell drugs online fast. So I only really started watching this show about a month ago when I saw that they were having a new season coming out soon. So I just wanted to watch that and then watch this so I could give my review. And it honestly isn't much effort at all. There are some very short seasons, but from what I've watched, I find it a very underrated show. Given the success of foreign shows on Netflix, to the American or UK audience has been growing with Dark and Money Heist. I'm surprised that this one isn't as popular. If you're unaware, this show, just like Dark, is German. I watched it translated into English. It's a very unique way. It kind of displays the screen that you're watching the movie on as kind of this website or whatever. It pops up with little facts from Wikipedia, or it pops up with kind of the messages they're receiving. All these little pop-up things which feel very unique, and it's actually very useful to help the audience gain knowledge of what they are talking about. And it is a very fast-paced, moving show. It can really build the tension out of nowhere. All it could be is you're walking down a street and then you turn a corner and then bam, the tension is piled on. And it's one of those things where when you watch the first season, you see them start this business, you kind of be like, oh no, you're gonna regret this. And as it goes on with that season and into this season, you can see how much of a big hole they've dug themselves. And now that they're in, they cannot escape from it. Similar to what I was saying about the pop-ups on screen of all the facts or messages, it's also told from Moritz's point of view. You know, he's kind of doing an interview, so it kind of cuts back to his narration sometimes, which I like a lot. And you know, it's not always accurate. He sometimes wants to change it just so it sounds a bit cooler. And as it establishes, these characters are nerds, so they do a great job of having their humor pop culture heavy, constant references to games or Elon Musk or even some movies, as they do in this season a lot. So you really buy them as being these really nerdy people, as it's shown through their humor. It's at a very, very fast pace, so it's very hard to lose interest. It's constantly engaging, but it also focuses heavy on the emotional side. It goes into a little bit more detail than it did last season. We never saw anything too shocking in the last season until the last episode or two, where if you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But at times, right out of nowhere, they just do something shocking in this season. It happens quite a few times, and it really makes you hold your mouth open in shock. So moments like that are very powerful. They really did catch you off guard. But to top off the pros for me, I think the character of Dan has a nice little arc in this season. Obviously, he was the cool kid or whatever in the first season. I wouldn't say he has become friends with Moritz. As you know, in the first season he broke his nose. But this season they're more colleagues than friends, as they still have some nice little things, but then major things happen with them. Now, I don't have a big problem with this. It's just something very noticeable, but this show really does have a lot of similarities to Breaking Bad. Obviously, they're about people who turn to drug dealing, but past that, there are some very similar things. Like off the top of my head, the main man goes slightly crazy. I mean, there's a bit where he takes the mick and shaves his head just like Walter White did, but that wasn't real. A family member is a cop, just like in Breaking Bad. And then someone has an illness which has their days numbered, which, just like Walter White with his cancer. You know, as I said, I don't have a problem with that, but that takes the uniqueness away from it slightly, as you've seen it before. But in truth, this is just a series which is like Breaking Bad, but is more modern with the use of technology and is through teenage boys. And I mentioned in the pros that it's a very engaging story. It's constantly moving, but sometimes too much happens too quickly. Like if I think about where we finished with the season compared to the beginning, so much has passed. I could write an essay on all the things that have happened. So many things passed. Once again, it's understandable though. I mentioned the seasons are very short. There are only 6 episodes. In the first season, they were only 20 minutes long, but in this one, they're half an hour long, which still isn't very long. They're not given much time to slow things out. It's constantly moving forward, but that's just a minor problem I have with it. But one of the bigger problems I have is the suspicion of the 3 friends. You know, as I mentioned, Dan was this cool kid, didn't want anything to do with the losers or whatever, but straight away, he's around them pretty much the whole season. No one really blinks an eye. He just says, oh, they're working for my little business or whatever. And that's about it. Like, no other things are said. I thought people would take the mick more. It's not looked upon much. And not just that, but another thing that people should have been more suspicious about, mainly his father. For someone who's a cop, they don't seem to know about their son too much or where he's gone constantly. I know you want to give a teenager freedom, but Moritz goes to Holland quite often, and there's no mention of that from anyone except Lenny and Dan. I know Germany to Holland isn't long, but I would expect his dad to be suspicious why he goes there because it's never explained. And obviously I don't live in Germany or in Holland, so I don't know what it's like, but is it really that easy to smuggle drugs across? I'm not too sure. Once again, I haven't been to either country, so I don't know what the situation's like at the border of that. I wouldn't have thought it would be that easy to get the drugs across, but who knows? That's all I really have to say about bad things about this season. Don't let the duration of the cons section distract you from the actual quality of this show. Like I said, I think it's one of the more underrated shows on Netflix. I'm surprised not many people have seen it, not many people are talking about it. If you hadn't gathered that I thought it was underrated, that must mean that I do recommend this show, especially this season. For me, I think it's better than the first season. In that case, I give it an 8 out of 10 for this season, and for the whole show in general, also an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching another one of my videos. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments what you thought of How to Sell Drugs Online Fast and what you thought of season 2. Also, please let me know how I could improve my videos, as I'm constantly trying to do that, and I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers as soon as possible. But yeah, like I said, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.